conferences clash in Week 13 as the football team visits the Raiders. Washington's on a 3-game win streak in the series against Las Vegas and looking to add one more. Next.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. The atmosphere here electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Washington football team. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year. Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. Turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their 4th-year man from Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
Typically, he's been a career backup, but when given an opportunity to be a starter, he's looked awfully good at times, understands how to navigate defenses, and delivers with precision.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A nice little juke, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson punching it in from a yard away. And Washington has taken a first quarter lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders getting ready to go to work for the first time, and they're led by their quarterback in his 8th season now in silver and black, Derek Carr.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
First carry for Josh Jacobs, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carr going to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They will run it. It's McKissick. Breaks through, and he works free. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Washington. His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, number 7 overall. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Slide for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. It's a squibber picked up around. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown.
We got to roll. Just keep it rolling, baby.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 21-0.
Raiders nothing.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Raiders take over first and 2.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle by Cole Holcomb. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. Carr. Now this goes out wide for Drake. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. 21-0 our score after 1. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and
They'll run with McKissick. 73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's McKissick. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
brings up 2nd and 1 at the Raiders.
A carry now for McKissick. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets them closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Stopped short, down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get all the way to the end zone. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissick with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Raiders nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Raiders now set to get the football back. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. To throw, it's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now Joey Sly for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. To throw again on second down. Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. On play action, it's Carr. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
That's pulled in at the 32. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And this is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. On first down, Carr. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Allen now looks to throw. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Washington. Cam Sims, as the first half is winding down. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow. Sly on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the 30 on 2nd down, Carr. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Daron Payne in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Trevor Lawrence has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Tua Tagovailoa, strong in the victory, as his guys managed to cobble together their 3rd win in an otherwise dismal campaign. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they've had their way running the football, well over 100 yards already as a team, with 2 more quarters still to come. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And Carr's throw complete here to Waller. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Now Carr. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jamin Davis in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker, because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by
the time we have to leave the booth. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll go again with McKissick, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. J.D. McKissick taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah.
What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Second down, Jacobs once more. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissick taking it in from the 20. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Carr. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw his Carr. Lets this go for Renfrow downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, what a move. Fighting his way through contact. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he made him buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 174 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't.
It's a gain of 4, and it's third down.
Washington on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. J.D. McKissick. A 10-yard touchdown run. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
You got nothing.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Las Vegas, first down. 1st and 10.
Play action. Now it's Carr. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl.
Carr's pass, intercepted by Washington. They'll take over.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. It's going to be a long.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
We play to win. Let's go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Wiggles free. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Slide for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jackson now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in here by Jackson. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And controlling the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Second and 8.
Double tight. Hey. 4 down. Mike 42.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, business as usual for them, well on their way to another victory, riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
So a victory here for the Washington football team. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.